Every enterprise relies on suppliers. Deciding what to buy and from who based on well-defined criteria and a strategic approach helps businesses minimize risks and maximize benefits. This enables companies to leverage suppliers to enhance their competitive edge, product quality, and profitability. This film will give you the tools to guide your students through understanding buying and outsourcing as strategic decisions. We'll explore the spectrum of procurement choices and the processes for supplier selection to maximise benefits. It's important to recognise that every enterprise relies on purchasing goods and services. This includes both non-engineering items like stationery and cleaning services, as well as essential parts or components. Each purchase decision exists on a spectrum between two extremes, making everything in-house or making nothing and outsourcing entirely. Outsourcing allows a business to concentrate on its core specialisation, the way it delivers unique customer value. Key factors that influence the decision to buy any product or service are cost, quality, and delivery, and the right balance between these three factors is essential. There are also different types of delivery process an enterprise needs to assess. To order, materials are ordered when needed. For inventory, materials are ordered to keep consistent stock levels. Just in time, materials are ordered to arrive directly for manufacturing. You could start by asking your students to identify various engineering and non-engineering items that an engineering startup might need or want to purchase. Then, encourage them to categorise these items as critical or non-critical. You might also consider discussing companies like Apple, which outsource all their manufacturing. This can then lead on to a discussion about why companies like Apple need to protect their intellectual property. The ideal suppliers offer the best combination of cost, delivery, and quality while minimising risk. Procurement is the process of identifying, purchasing, and paying for the appropriate goods and services from the most suitable supplier. This process involves a series of steps, beginning with the determination that purchasing is more advantageous than in-house production. The process typically has these stages: insight, identifying the need and reasons for buying externally; research, search for potential suppliers; tendering, inviting selected suppliers to bid for the contract; selection, evaluation of each tendering response and selecting a preferred supplier; contracting, carry out due diligence by researching the performance and management of the chosen supplier before awarding the contract and then negotiating and agreeing on pricing, delivery, intellectual property rights, and quality expectations. Walk through each step of the procurement process, encouraging your students to consider who might be involved in each step and what engineering knowledge or experience might be required. For example, product designers, material specialists, electrical engineers, or manufacturing equipment operators. Discuss the type of information or insights they could provide. Explore the concept of due diligence with your students, highlighting its relevance to choosing a supplier. Due diligence involves conducting thorough research into a supplier's operations and its performance. It's important to emphasise that agreeing a contract with a new supplier is just the beginning of the supplier management process and relationship. Similar to managing employees, maximising the value from suppliers requires establishing clear expectations and goals, maintaining effective communication, and fostering a strong, positive relationship. Supplier lifecycle or relationship management involves a series of steps aimed at building strong supplier relationships. This approach ensures that suppliers adapt to evolving requirements as your products change in response to customer needs. The supplier relationship management cycle typically includes procurement, selecting the best fit supplier; onboarding, integrating the chosen supplier into procedures, systems, and expectations; monitoring, evaluating supplier performance against agreed upon criteria. The monitoring phase involves identifying and mitigating risks associated with the supplier, developing the relationship to enhance quality and cost effectiveness, and optimizing the relationship as the enterprise expands and evolves. Effective supplier management, like successful negotiation, aims to achieve mutually beneficial win-win outcomes. Start by exploring the supplier relationship cycle with your students. Relate it to their experience of starting college and their educational journey. Emphasize that optimizing is a crucial step. Discuss how a supplier relationship might change as a startup grows or diversifies its products and markets. Ask your students to consider which types of suppliers might not require extensive management and which suppliers might benefit most from close management. Introduce the idea that suppliers can become stakeholders in an enterprise, parties that can both influence and be influenced by the business, akin to a symbiotic relationship, and therefore have a vested interest in its success. Here's a case study you can use with your students, which they can then explore further using the Managing Suppliers online interactive tool. Imagine you're launching a startup that will produce widgets. You'll be making these to order and currently have limited space and funding for inventory. Your goal is to determine how to optimize purchasing decisions to meet 3 potential customer priorities: acceptable quality, minimum cost, or the fastest possible delivery time of parts and materials to your factory. Note that in practice, you can only ever prioritize 2 of these 3 at once, as illustrated by the standard project management triangle. Students can then use the interactive tool to explore these various supplier decisions for materials and components. They can prioritize quality, cost, and delivery time for each supplier. They can also access information about each material or component and each criterion by clicking on info icons. Using the tool, students should select a customer priority and identify the suppliers that best meet that priority. Observe how prioritizing one criterion affects the other 2. After investigating how best to meet each criterion individually, they should select and justify the optimal balance between quality, cost, and delivery time. By understanding the strategic importance of supplier management, the procurement process, and the factors that influence purchasing decisions, your students will be well prepared to navigate the complexities of supplier relationships in the engineering sector. Thanks for watching, and revisit the films, learner resources, and practitioner resources to recap or explore the topic further.